slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your dishes splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX.
J-Way.
I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless.
I'm gone.
Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck.
Give me
Into
that.
the trends. See a lead, be the band.
What's going on, y'all? We back with another episode of Corner to Copa. We got a player profile. This time we got Eduardo Valencia. He started the year in Erie and he finished the year in Toledo. This is somebody that kind of emerged out of nowhere with a massive season. I'm going to show you guys in a second the improvement that he made in a year's time. But this is somebody that I kept a close eye on all year, and he had a ridiculous year, probably one of the better minor league seasons I've ever seen, but not ever seen, but seen this year. But he's somebody that willed his way onto the 40-man roster. This is another individual who was protected from the Rule 5 draft. I was a heavy proponent for a good amount of the season that they have to protect him. They cannot allow a bat this electric to get swooped away by somebody in the Rule 5 draft. And the Tigers did right by him and protected him. So when you look at his profile, he's 25 years old and kind of slight of build. He's 6'2", especially for a catcher, but he's 6'2", 180 pounds. I think that weight is still valid, but he's a little bit older. Like I said, he got he was in the international draft back when he was 18 or 19. So he's been in the system for a while, and that's the main reason why they had to protect him. And but they did. He's now 25 years old. As you can see, his prospect score is 88. So still pretty high, still pretty high projections, but he is a little bit older. So, definitely a slow start to his career. He splits between first and catcher, but he's definitely a bat first individual. Neither position. I don't think that he fields either position great. I think ideally, he could be a predecessor to Jake Rogers, who is in the moonlight of his career. But defensively, he, pales in comparison by a long shot. So I do want to emphasize that. And we'll talk about projections and all that. But when you look at his bat profile, I mean, this guy has a good amount of power. And he's a contact guy. He slashes the ball to all fields, as you'll see by his spray chart. But he's got power to all fields. He makes good contact, 70th percentile as far as strikeouts are concerned. And he's pretty judicious at the plate as well. He chases at an average level, but he takes his walks, as you can see. And he's also making, when the pitch is a strike, he's making contact at a pretty decent clip. Not a great athlete, not a good base runner or a very speedy guy, but you don't expect that of a catcher or a first baseman anyway. So, so that's that. Let's go down. Let's move down to the spray chart here. One other thing that you'll see is he's punishing fastballs. 328 expected on four seams, 383 on cutters. He also hits changeups well. He hits everything well. Like 340 against sweepers. So he struggles at sinkers, but he's making them pay all, in all forms. As you can see the spray chart, he's hitting home runs straight away, pull side, decent amount of opposite field home runs as well. So, and this doesn't even display all of his home runs. I want to say he had 90 RBIs, but he had like 25 home runs. So let's pull up the statistics. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? He's not ranked as a prospect. He's got 0 service time. Let's see here. All right. So now when we pull up the statistics, this was his year last year. 24 home runs, 95 RBIs. He hit for a high average, 311. He got on base, and he's got an OPS nearly in a thousand. This was split between Erie and Toledo, but he, as far as I'm concerned, he mashed the gas when he got to Toledo. I want to say that he had a couple, at least one multi home run game. Well, here it is right here. First home runs. Oh, he hit for the cycle with the Mud Hens last year, and I want to say he had a multi home run game with the Mud Hens as well. But let's look at the splits here as far between Erie and Toledo. Hit. Come on. Oh, that's the advanced stats. Hit 24 home run, hit 13 in Toledo, 11 in Erie. He played split it straight down the middle, 53 and 50. Hit for a higher average in Toledo. I mean, he mashed the gas when he got to Toledo. Everything went up from the OPS to the on base, the slug, everything. He just mashed all year. He just never stopped. I don't think that he I don't know if he put any doubt in Scott Harris's mind about pushing him up late in the year, because I just think he came out of nowhere, and I don't think that the belief that he was going to be as good as he was, I don't think that they ever bought into that completely. But we definitely needed some power right-handed bats late in the year. So he didn't make it to the 40 man last year, but he is on the 40 man now. So oh, when you look at the improvements from last year he hit for 241, pretty bad. He 4 home runs and 26 RBIs. So a crazy disparity. Now, mind you, he was hurt a lot of last year. He had to be. He only had played in 62 games. So there's that. But in every way possible, his numbers jumped. 672 OPS. He jumped 300. And as far as that's concerned, he jumped an average about 70 points. Everything, went through the roof. He's been in the system since 2018 in the Dominican, looks like it's Dominican rookie ball. And yeah, he just, I don't know. I don't know. I would love that if there was more coverage or interviews or something more about him, because he's kind of a mystery guy. We don't know much about him. And, he was essentially, I don't want to say he was out of the system, but he hadn't made any noise. I mean, in 2023, he hit 161. His average even jumped, then, 80 points, you know, from 2023 to 2024. And then he's just continued to ascend. Now, as far as his future, obviously, I think that he's gonna get opportunities in spring training, and yeah, his bat is gonna need to play. Defensively, he doesn't really have a strong position. It's tough for anybody playing first base because Torkelson plays every day. Um, he could possibly will his way onto spring training off of his bat alone, but that would mostly be with the likes of DH at bats, which we know Scott Harris isn't a fan of clogging the DH. Also, possibly catcher, depending on where he's at developmentally as a catcher, and what Jake Rogers does, because I just don't see Jake Rogers making it through the entire season. That's just me, but maybe he has a major turnaround. I don't think we expected Jake to get hurt and then Dylan Dingler to just fully take over the reins as the everyday catcher. So. Still yet to be seen, but yeah, the bat is going to have to play because defensively he doesn't really have a good position. He's definitely somebody to pay attention to in spring training and really see how he feels the position, because I can't say that I've seen him myself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, a pretty remarkable year in review. 24 home runs last year. Where is it? And what is the total? Yeah, 24 home runs last year, 95 RBIs, 311 average, on base off the charts. Um, I mean, he essentially in 2025 alone doubled his hit value and more than doubled his home run value. Pretty crazy. I noticed that he stopped trying to steal bases. That those catching duties will, wear you down. But he was also about 19 when he stole 6 as a rookie in 57 games. So he scrapped that and said, it's time, chicks dig the long ball. So I feel that. Let's pull up his fielding. Why not? Let's see what's going on with his fielding. As you can see, mostly catchers and catching and first base. He split that down the middle, 39 games as a catcher, 40 as a first baseman, 25 as a DH. Yeah. I'll spare you with all the talk about the errors and all that. Let's see. 1 error at first, 3 at DH. Okay. So as far as the percentage, fielding percentage, pretty high, but not a ton of opportunities to create errors at first base. And I don't know, I guess those are throwing errors as far as catching is concerned. So, but that's Eduardo Valencia, definitely one of the bigger names to keep an eye on going into spring training, because we do have such a need as far as right-handed power bats, and you can't just look past the production. I hope that he can keep it up, and I hope that he has a great spring and gets an opportunity to possibly make the 26. Although I also hope the Tigers go out and spend some money so that we don't have to lean on that. So that's pretty much it. Stay tuned. We got a whole bunch more player profiles. This is the second player that I'm covering that was protected in the Rule 5 draft. Eduardo Valencia. I'll catch y'all next time.
Get your lick back. If a nigga do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way.